Welcome to yet another amazing episode of Pure Minds, Pure Energy, Enlightenment Sessions with Nate and PMC. I'm your host, Nate Zeleznick, founder of the Integrated Ascension Method and one of the only American master trainers of the ancient Indonesian breathwork, meditation, healing, energy building, and extrasensory art of Merpati Putih. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce a trailblazer in meditation technology, as well as being a dear friend of mine, Craig Goldberg. As the co-founder and CEO of inHarmony, as well as being a consummate biohacker, Craig is on a mission to revolutionize how we experience relaxation, meditation, and spiritual growth. Through cutting-edge vibroacoustic technology, inHarmony helps users harness the power of sound and vibration to unlock deeper states of calm, clarity, and connection. Craig's passion for merging ancient practices with modern innovation has transformed the meditation journey for countless individuals. As I've mentioned on other episodes, I personally use Craig's technology nearly every single day as I do my pyramid meditation, and it is a perfect addition to the PSSM meditation practice. So get ready to dive into the future of wellness as Craig shares how his groundbreaking technology is creating waves in the spiritual and meditative world. Craig, welcome to the show. It's an honor to have you. Well, as we get started, please tell us about yourself, your mission, your vision, your purpose.
Nate, I am so honored. That introduction, by the way, I just want you to do that over and over again. I'm just going to clip that and play that for my wife. And every time I enter a room, that's the way that I want to be greeted. Thank you. I'm honored. I love you. That was amazing. I'm going to watch this over and over again. Thank you for having me. And this is a conversation that is near and dear to my heart. I think, look, this is something that you and I have immersed ourselves in for the better part of, for you, I know it's 20 years, maybe 20, 30 years even. And I think meditation for a lot of folks can be intimidating. They're not sure if they're doing it right. They're not sure if they're getting to the right place that they're supposed to get to find value and impact. It's the kind of thing that once you do find that technique, and I'm a huge fan of what you do, we've done it both on my tech and when we've spent time together personally. It's a practice and a process that helps you to optimize your own performance. I think everybody wants to be the best that they possibly can every single day, especially if you're looking in personal growth and you're looking for ways that you can perform at your best. You're looking for tools, hacks, and shortcuts to help you to be your best each and every day. And meditation for me, we've been doing this for 8 years here at inHarmony Interactive. And if 9 years ago you said to me, Craig, meditation is really important, you should have a seat, here's how I want you to guide. I want to guide you through this particular practice, I'd have a really hard time with it because I was having a difficult time reaching that meditative state, turning off the outside world, finding peace in and silence in the noise. And for me, sound and vibration was a powerful tool to guide my mind, body, and spirit into the depths of that meditative state. I push forward what I'm doing within inHarmony because I selfishly use our technology every single day. And it's a tool that I use to teach and train the mind, body, and spirit to reach that deep meditative state. And it's something that I can then take with me when I'm not on our technology, not using our music meditations, or simply using your process and practice. It helps me to create the rut like a needle in a record, that rut that my body can fall into to reach the depth of that meditative state easier. And when I need to call upon it, because I need the refuge, I need the recharge, I need to rejuvenate. And it gives me access to using and reaching the most powerful access points in the mind, body, and spirit so that I can be the most powerful father, husband, friend, partner, guide, whatever. It allows me to tap into my greatness each and every time and go deeper and deeper and deeper because our downtime is as important as our uptime. And particularly here in the United States, we kind of wear busyness as a badge of honor. Like, how are you? I'm busy. Even we were just talking about all the things that we have going on, how crazy and hectic our schedules are. And it becomes something that we talk about and almost brag about. And the reality is, we need to take time to rest and recharge. And the deeper and harder we can rest, the more powerful and optimized we can be when it's go time and when it's time for us to do what we need to do.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And since so many of the people that are going to be watching and listening to this happen to be in India, where, funny story, when I was at the PSSM Global Mega Meditation Summit 2 in Raleigh, North Carolina, a couple months ago presenting, when I was presenting to a couple small groups, I asked everybody, raise your hand if you've ever had a aha moment that led you into meditation. And not one person raised their hand, not one. And I thought that was strange. I've never had that reaction before. And so I started asking questions because having the right answer is smart, but having the right question is genius. So I
Yeah.
asked, how many of you started meditating when you were 3 to 5 years old? Every hand went up. And I went, well, there you
Yeah.
go. It's part of the culture in Hinduism and India as a whole to
Yeah.
take that time and really learn more about yourself. And so
Mm.
religion and prayer is so ingrained in those cultures where here you're right. I agree. We wear busyness like a badge of honor. I'll say I'm one of those people that is
I'm
born.
guilty. Guilty as charged. Yep.
Sure. So what inspired you to create inHarmony though? And how is, you've got your personal journey. How did that shape the company's mission so that you could focus on vibroacoustic therapy? Like, how did you get started with the business?
Yeah, so look, I had an experience, and I want to circle back to the culture. I love Indian culture, and I love how ingrained meditation and mindfulness and prayer is into that culture. So I definitely want to kind of compartmentalize that, and I want to talk about that in a few moments. For me personally, I had a sound lounge experience. I got on our technology. My now business partner, Dominic, reached out to me. This is 8 years ago, November of 2016. And he said, hey, I got a piece of tech that you need to come take a look at. What he didn't realize is that I had been trying to create the very technology that he had procured and created. I had been trying to use, I'm an audiophile. That simply means that I love high quality audio. I love listening to music loud, clear, crisp, and I love the embodiment of that music. And one thing I love about Indian culture is music is a big part, dance is a big part of that culture. And for millennia, human beings have been dancing, singing, collaborating, and having fun together as a form of meditation. Believe it or not, as a form of release. Jumping up and down gets the lymphatic drainage going. It helps open up the detox pathways. It helps us to be healthier humans just by dancing and singing. And of course, the oldest vibratory tool on the planet is the larynx and the throat, right? Your voice. Ah, om. All of these different things, they do a really good job at vibrating the upper torso, but not so much the rest of the body. Now, certainly dancing and jumping up and down is going to help you to do that for a full body release. But I got on the sound lounge and I had an experience. Now, 3 months before that, my wife and I were traveling the country, the United States, teaching, training, and educating on the efficacy of essential oils, another part of Indian culture that is ingrained in just about everything they do. The oils that come out of that country are absolutely remarkable, as are the incense and the different scents and smells that stimulate the nasal passage. The experience that I had was one that I was trying to create. So I went out, I bought a gong CD, just recordings of gongs. It was CDs back then, it's going back 8 years ago. And I went home, my home stereo system where I had a 5.1 surround sound system. And I took my center channel in between my legs and my front right, front left, rear right, rear left. And I kind of starfished out in my living room and I put on this gong CD and I just cranked it. I was trying to have the same experience that I had grown to love using the acoustic instruments. Now we know Nepalese bells, the gong, the didgeridoo, these acoustic instruments that create vibration, tuning forks, crystal bowls. They do a great job of bringing the body and mind into harmonic resonance. And of course, I didn't know this back then, but I know it now because it's my field of study. And I laid down on this sound lounge, and it was basically a sound healing on tap. I was laying in a sound bath on tap. So our sound lounge is our biggest device. You're laying down on it. It's ergonomically designed. There's 4 tactile transducers inside. If I can get this in my screen, this is a tactile transducer. They're made specifically for us, and you can see that red and black terminal. It's like a speaker, only it's not. It's about half a speaker. And here's a magnet. That magnet oscillates. And this transducer translates music into vibration. And when you're laying on it, and this is connected to the body, as it vibrates, so too does your body. And sound and vibration is an amazing tool to help us get into that meditative state, mainly an alpha, theta, delta, or gamma brainwave state, mainly outside of a beta brainwave, which is where our brain is when it's processing the world around us, eyes open, processing a ton of different information. We want to get into that alpha, theta, delta, and gamma brainwave state because that's where rejuvenation happens. And obviously different things are happening in different brainwave states. The reason I love our technology, particularly with an audience that has been meditating for years, is because meditation is something that's very personal. I don't know how deep your meditative state is. I don't even know if my meditative state is as deep as it could be. There's no measuring stick for that. It's an internal process. It's happening in my brain, in my body. Whether I'm having out-of-body experiences, whether I'm astral projecting, whether I'm simply just reaching that rested and relaxed state, it's very difficult to gauge. And we've been doing this, as I said, for 8 years. We have our meditation cushion, which we designed back in 2020, got a design patent here in the United States for it. It is quite literally a device that helps you to reach the depth of a meditative state. And we do that using the inHarmony headphones that I'm wearing, coupled and plugged into our meditation cushion. And what's magical about our hardware is that for the person that has that 20, 30, 40-year meditative practice, 20 minutes a day, and has been doing this on a regular basis, is that neuroplasticity, those neural pathways are so well defined that sound and vibration at the right level, and this is really important, because folks that have been meditating for that long do not need the intensity turned up. In fact, quite the opposite. They perform better when the intensity is turned down, and it's not distracting to the body. But instead, that sound and vibration, you are feeling the same thing that you are hearing. And like a needle in a record, like I mentioned before, it drops you and takes you immediately to the bottom and the depth of that meditative state. And it does so very quickly and very efficiently. So whereas when you have that regular practice and you're quieting the mind and maybe doing some breathing exercises, which I know are profound, you get into that deeper meditative state faster and you are guided deeper than, in a lot of ways, than you ever have before. So it's a very powerful tool to guide you to the depth of that meditative state. And then, just like your regular practice, you can access that again and again and again and again. It becomes almost like an athlete has a stretching coach, and that stretching coach will push down your legs or push you into a position to stretch you a little bit further than you are able to get on your own. Our hardware does the same thing for that meditative state in a very profound way.
Well explained. And that's one of the reasons why, even after, my first out-of-body experiences started when I was 12. And then I dove.
I remember us talking about this. It's great.
I dove as deep as I could into the meditative and the mental disciplines, the side disciplines. So, my meditation for the past 25 years has been very religiously scheduled. And I have to say,
well-disciplined.
Well-disciplined. And the thing is that most of the people who were watching this in the Pyramid Spiritual Society movement, most of them meditate an hour to an hour and a half or 2 hours every single morning from like 5 o'clock until 7 o'clock. It's a thing. It's like their ritual. And I can say this from my own personal experience as being a inHarmony aficionado and junkie. I just love my meditation cushion sitting up inside my pyramid, wearing a pyramid on my head. It is part of the integrated ascension method. It's that powerful that when I formed my new business, I made sure the first addition to the Merpati Putti meditation and breath work and energy healing and extrasensory perception was inHarmony. The very first thing that became part of the integrated method. So you are actually part and parcel to my business, my lifestyle, my purpose, my passion, and helping people. Part of this is the inHarmony technology. So, Craig, let's go a little bit deeper though. Can you explain a little bit of the science behind the vibroacoustic therapy?
Sure.
really how it uniquely impacts the body and the mind compared to traditional meditation techniques? Because that's a big one for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, it comes from harmonizing what you're hearing with what you're feeling. And look, everybody that's in India right now probably has an iPhone or an Android device, more likely an Android device. You can go to the Google Play Store and you can find our app and you can download it. And by the way, it's powerful with a Bluetooth speaker. It's powerful even through a set of headphones like ours. So even if you don't have access to our hardware, which is predominantly available here in the United States, you can still gain this benefit and get value from what I'm sharing. The culmination and the harmonization of what you're hearing and what you're feeling is really where the magic lies in using sound and vibration to reach those deeper meditative states. You are perceiving this reality through your five senses. And, this gets into a little bit more of a consciousness conversation. It gets us into a little bit of a rabbit hole here of just your perception is your reality, quite literally. We see less than 1% of the visible light spectrum with our eyes and our retina. We hear less than 0.5% of the sounds and the audio stimulation that is out there. So just in those two senses, what we hear and what we feel, what we see and what we hear, and then what we feel, we only feel about 5 hertz to 300 hertz. That's through the mechanoreceptors or the changes in pressure on our skin. So it's a small fraction, even smaller fraction of what we can actually touch as far as sound waves that are out there. So we are quite literally limited in our perception of this reality using our five senses, which is why when we close our eyes and go inward, it's almost infinite as to where we can go and what we can do, what we can become. When you are hearing the same things that you are feeling and you have your eyes closed, so you're turning off your sense of sight, and of course you will still see things behind your closed eyes, which is beautiful of what it's created by the mind. You're almost allowing the mind, body, and spirit to relax just by itself, just by harmonizing all of the mechanoreceptors. Remember, your brain is sitting in a black hole in your head, and it's perceiving through the five senses electrical signals and electrical stimulation. As you close your eyes and turn off your sight, as you sit down on a meditation cushion or lay on our sound lounge or just listen to the music through a Bluetooth speaker, all of the mechanoreceptors in your body are sending the same signal that is harmonized to what you are hearing. So 3 of your 5 senses are now, 2 of them are being harmonized, 1 of them is being turned off. You still have taste, you still have smell, your mouth is probably closed, you might not be smelling anything. You are limiting the number of inputs going to your brain, which quite literally give your brain less to do, less to process, and it drifts into a default relaxed state. It simply says, well, I don't have that much to do right now. It must be time for me to relax, and it gives you an opportunity to really sit back, relax, rest, and recharge. So the science and the research is something that's really important to me. It's something that I continue to push forward along with my business partners. We have a chief science officer. We actually just launched 4 research studies among our user base, and we're going to be analyzing those statistics on a regular basis and bringing that out as to what we're finding from HRV, oxidation, blood oxidation. So we're going to use blood oximeters, exactly, forget the name. But anyway, we're going to be tracking what happens to heart rate variability, heartbeat, and pulse, as well as what's happening from an oxidation level in the blood. And these are just really simple things that we can take a look at as to how we're impacting health, overall health and wellness and optimal human performance. But down the road, I want to do IQ testing. I want to do all sorts of different metabolic testing and really start to dig into the science and the research so that we can identify not just the benefits of using our technology, but of course the benefits of using our technology to reach the depth of that meditative state quickly, efficiently, and effectively.
That's incredible. Wow.